Once upon a time, I did a job interview at Microsoft and it didn't go well. I knew it wasn't going to go well when I got to Redmond and I opened up my suitcase and I realized I didn't have any pants. And I don't mean that I didn't have the right pants. I mean, I didn't have any pants. I literally didn't pack any pants for the job interview. So I had to go to Kmart and buy some pants that very day. But also at that job interview, it was one of the most embarrassing job interviews I ever went to. I had just assumed that I was this big shot and I was going to get this job at Microsoft, and Microsoft wanted me, and they flew me all the way across the country and they put me up in this hotel and they had cocktails and shrimp cocktails. I remember at the hotel that they put out, and I go into the job interview and it's like a full day of interviews and I meet with someone. They're going to tell me exactly how the interviews are going to go. And I remember that they said that you're going to have 4 interviews and you're gonna have lunch. And then afterwards, you're gonna have these other interviews. And there's like a full day of interviewing. And so I go into the first interview and I completely bomb it. I'm supposed to write something on the whiteboard. I don't know the answer to the question, what Win32 interfaces are, what the API is. I can't answer basically any question about anything he's asking, and he just feels bad for me the whole time. He tries to give me some simple problems which I can't solve on the whiteboard, and that was a complete bomb. Then the second interview, same thing happens. Embarrassing, not being able to answer questions. I was super nervous, completely bombed the thing. Finally, I get up to like a personality interview and I did okay there. I went to lunch, and after lunch, I remember the coordinator, she tells me, actually, we're not going to continue the interview. We're going to just send you home on this bus. So I'm telling you this story because I don't want you to have this kind of embarrassing situation. It was extremely embarrassing to me. I eventually did interview again at Microsoft and actually did get a job offer, but I had to learn a few things, which I'm going to talk about in this video. So I'm going to tell you right now how to prepare for a programming job interview. If you've bombed an interview before, I'm going to give you this guide is going to give you exactly everything you need to know. I've got like 7 things here that you need to know that are going to help you to be able to do this. All right. So the first one here is to look at the job description carefully and make sure you understand all the things listed on the description. All right. I know this seems like real basic stuff, but look at the job description. Make sure you understand all the technologies that are there. If you don't know one, then go and study that. Okay. Because it's probably going to be something that's going to be asked on the interview, or you need to confirm that it's not, if that's the case. All right. Try to communicate with the interviewer ahead of time. Ask them what you should prepare for and what kind of interview it'll be. Okay. That's number 2. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to say, that's ridiculous. How are you going to talk to the interviewer ahead of time? I have literally just emailed the interviewer and said, hey, I was wondering if we could just jump on a quick Skype call or a Zoom call and just kind of discuss the interview before the interview. If you got 5 minutes, I just want to, gather some notes. Just want to make sure that I'm preparing the right things for you so that I can come into the interview prepared. Surprisingly, you would think that people would be like, oh, no, that's cheating. No, a lot of people will just jump on the call with you. Or you can talk to the HR person and ask them, okay, what is the interview like? What should I prepare for? What's the format of the interview? They'll give you a lot of this information. Sometimes they might say no, but you might as well ask. I've had a lot of times where I've done it and a lot of my coaching clients have done it, and they give you all the information you need to know. It's like studying for the SAT, but having the SAT prep course, you're going to get a much better score. Same thing can happen with the interviews. Trust me on this one. This one most people don't do. All right. Search for top, whatever your technology is, interview questions on Google. Again, another basic thing, but guess what happens when most people give interviews? Because I've done interviews before. I don't know if you have. You search for top questions and that's how you come up with it. So they're probably Googling the same thing you are. And if you go through that list, you need to make sure that you can answer each one of those questions and make sure you know why the answer is what it is. Okay. Really, really important, really basic, but really important. If you do this, you're going to do much better on the interview, okay? Very important that you go through all these. By the way, if you're liking this video, click the like button. It would really help me with the YouTube algorithm. Okay, next one. If there is a coding part of the interview, okay, which a lot of ones are today, practice at LeetCode or buy the book Cracking the Coding Interview, okay, by Gayle Chapman. All right, it's a really good book, okay? Or Gayle, I forgot her name now, but it's Gayle. Okay, go buy that book and practice. There's a couple of other resources you can use, but LeetCode is a really good one. And then I actually have something for you. I've got a whole interview, basically toolkit, a digital toolkit for preparing for an interview. It's I've got it on sale right now. I don't know how long the sale is going to last, but it's the Complete Software Developer Career Guide Toolkit. It basically has a software developer interview crash course in here with modules on actually how to solve coding problems that I teach you myself. A software developer's job hunt action plan, right? All of this, these modules in here on how to get a job. Style 101 for software developers, really important for getting an interview. 65 must-read books for coders. Software developer skill assessment, so you can see where you're at in salary negotiation for when you get that job. And then as a bonus, I've got this 10 principles of highly effective debugging checklist. So go check it out. Just get the Toolkit right there. And like I said, I've got a discount on it for right now. So, okay. Anyway, back to the video here. Let's talk about the next thing here. Okay. We talked about looking at the job description, trying to communicate with the interviewer ahead of time to ask them what's going to be an interview, searching for the top technology. And then if there's a coding part, obviously studying for the coding part. And the next one is to dress 2 levels above the work environment. Okay. A lot of people don't follow this. And a lot of times you'll go to an interview and they'll say, hey, it's casual. You don't have to wear, you can just wear shorts or whatever. Do not. Okay. If they are wearing business attire, like let's say dress pants then what you need to wear is a suit. Okay. If they are wearing shorts and sandals, then what you need to wear is dress pants and a tie. Okay. You need to always be 2 levels above. Regardless of what people say, the perception of you is based on how you look. If you look like $1 million, people are going to think that you're more competent. Okay. I should apply this myself, right? If I came on this video and I had like an oak desk behind me, right, and I had a suit on and a tie, you'd think I was more credible. I should apply this advice myself, but it's true. Okay. Right now, I look like I don't know what I look like, but with, whatever. I don't care. Okay. So the next one is to have a portfolio of your work available. Send it ahead, show it off when you can. Okay. So what do I mean by this? Have a portfolio, have some apps you've developed, code that you have, projects, have all that stuff, send it ahead of the interview and be like, hey, just wanted to give you some additional stuff to review before the interview if you got a chance, just so you can just see my coding style. You can see some apps that I've worked on, stuff like that. Okay. A lot of times they will look at that. If you have a blog, they've already found it because they've Googled your name, but send that as well. And then when you're in the interview, if they're like, oh, so, explain to me a problem when you solve, or a time when you solved this type of problem, just pull up your laptop and be like, look, actually, here's what I did. This is some object-oriented code that I wrote. I had to use a polymorphic behavior here to make it so that, I used an abstract class here, and I chose an abstract class instead of an interface in this case because I wanted to inherit, the base functions that came with it, whatever. Okay. You get what I'm saying. All right. So you want to actually just bring it up and show them. Okay. It works. I've done it so many times. It's amazing. All right. Use that as an opportunity to show off. All right. And the final thing I'm going to tell you here, by the way, click that like button, do it. Do it. If you're watching the video, click the like button. All right. I'd appreciate it. Anyway, ask other people about the job interview process or any tips. Okay. So someone who already works there, all right, someone who has interviewed there, ask them. Okay. Don't ask them to give you cheat codes for the interview. Instead, you just say, hey, I'm interviewing. Do you have any tips for me? Do you have anything you can tell me about the interview process that you feel comfortable sharing, or any tips that you have for me? A lot of times they'll give you everything. Okay. They'll tell you exactly what questions you're going to use what you can. Okay. Be smart about this. It's a smart way to do things.